Welcome to this edition of Connect with VP Hecht, your guide to all things student life at Florida State. I'm joined today by two special guests, Melanie Morales and Trinity Frazier, who are members of Renew, a student organization at FSU. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So tell me, what is Renew?
So Renew means realizing everyone's needs for emotional wellness. We're basically a student organization that supports students and campus organizations with topics around mental health and like reducing the stigma about seeking mental health on campus.
Yeah, much needed.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what we want to do is like educate like people on different topics that are not like very much talked about, and also like we do like, for example, like workshops, we do like events that like try to like bring a little bit of like the highlight of mental wellness around campus. And sometimes like people are scared asking for help for like, for example, like the big professionals, and then maybe they come to us because they feel like more like the relatedness.
Yeah,
like
peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's like main like part of like what we do here.
Now, how did you two get involved with Renew?
So my clinical psychology professor recommended the organization to me because I told her I was interested in pursuing clinical psychology in grad school. So she was saying that was a great way to get experience on campus and help out other students with those issues. So I found it on, she told me to go to the website on Renew FSU, and I ended up submitting my application, did my interview process, and then I was able to get in and become a member.
Amazing. What about you, Melanie?
So the first spring semester I came in here, I was a roommate with Rebecca, which shout out to Rebecca, which was part of the executive board. So we both study psychology, and she was like, I'm in this group. We are a group of people who share like the same passion for like mental health. I think you should be like able to like enroll. We go through like this process of interviewing and everything. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like I wanted to be part of like something. And I was like really blown away when she told me like we are all sharing the same passion for like mental health. So I was like, I'm sold. I'm going to do that. So then, yeah, the same thing, like same process. I went and I sent like application, and they told me to go and do like an interview, which is like a mock IAS, like which you were talking like to one of them, and basically they're trying like to see like your passion, how are you doing, like everything, and just got here. I've been 2 years here in Renew, and I've been surrounded by like many great people. It's been
amazing.
Great progress. Yeah.
How much of a time commitment is to be a member of Renew?
Our organization meets weekly on Mondays at 6:30, so I feel like that's like the biggest thing. But that's where we also like discuss how we are going to split our tasks amongst each other, because there's a good amount of us in Renew. We do tabling events, we do presentations to organizations, and then we do individual sessions with students. So I feel like it's not a huge time commitment because it's so many of us, and we're able to divide our time amongst each other. But it is a commitment because you want to make sure you're dedicated to help the students on campus. So just making sure that you're available to cater to those events that we have.
So what is the best thing you've gained from Renew? What do you take away? If it's a life lesson or a memory, what are you taking away from Renew?
So much. Oh my gosh, I love Renew. I feel like the community is a big thing that has impacted me. Coming into Renew as a sophomore, I was very nervous, I was very shy, but I feel like it poured into me and allowed me to break out and speak more, and also just be around like a lot of people who care about mental health as much as I do, who also like want to support other students on campus, and they're always so kind, so nice. So I feel like that has been such a great experience for me. And then also just learning about these mental health topics as I'm speaking with other organizations about it. It's helped me in my own self, learning how to avoid burnout in college, learning how to reduce my stress, so that way I'm able to do this for other people. Has been a great thing.
Very good.
So for me, I also love very much Renew, and I think like the biggest part, it's maybe the confidence and the experience it has like given me, because I was also a very shy student at first, and then you have like you really put that like this label on yourself, like I can do public speaking, like I can do this, And then you just do the thing, and
Yeah.
you're like actually helping someone. I can do this.
Yes.
Like it's giving me the confidence to speak in front of people, and like know that people are hearing me or that I'm helping in some kind of way, and also the experience because you're peer to peer with a person. And for example, like I know many of us want to be like a clinical psychologist, so this is like a very good practice for that. So yeah, basically that, and like being confident that anything that you're saying or like helping, like it's really doing an impact. Yeah.
Well, I know as the Vice President of Student Affairs, the work that you do is incredible because we've seen the stigma decrease on campus so that students are seeking help, whether it's through Renew or going to see a counselor or just talking to their roommate about their mental health. You've really done incredible work. So I am very grateful. So what would be one thing you'd want your peers to know about Renew or mental health that you strive to kind of share with others?
I think that our peers like should know that it's okay like to ask for help if needed. University, like it really is like a place where everything changes from like what you've like known throughout your whole life to right now, and it's really good like to ask for help and know that everyone, even like us that are trying to help you, are going through the same things, and to really be able like to ask for that help instead of staying with that. I think that a shared problem, it's like a less of a weight problem for you.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And I also want to say to my peers, like, no issue is too big or too small. I feel like sometimes we can be like, oh, well, I just was dealing with anxiety from this test, but I'm good. So, like, just knowing that if it's a small issue, you can still come seek help from us. There's a lot of things that go on in college that I realized once I got in Renew that a lot of people deal with and may not feel comfortable discussing or may not know who to go to or who to turn to. So I feel like Renew is a safe space where they can come and sometimes talk to peers because we've kind of been through some of those same things, that we can be that person to help them through it. So
They don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
Very good. So we are at the point we always have our viewers or listeners write in some Ask Amy questions, and so we have some good ones today. Both of you kind of are psychology majors. So if somebody is interested in joining Renew, do they have to be a psychology major or have any special training?
You don't have to be a psychology major, neither have a specific training. In reality, like you can be there and the training will, like the experience and everything will come by just by being there.
Okay.
We have different degrees. The group, like we all don't need to be like psychology majors. Like we all need to share the same passion for the mental health, but we don't need exactly to be psychology majors.
Okay, very good. So what am I able as a student to share in Renew? What if I disclose something concerning to a peer educator? What are the protocols? And are you confidential?
So Renew is not confidential since we are also students. If something concerning was shared to us, we are required to report up because we're not professionals. You are able to share whatever you would like because we are students. The topics are pretty wide range, so we don't like try to limit students from coming in and telling us about any topics, but if the issue is beyond our scope, we would refer you to CAPS or someone higher up that can be able to help you with needs that we may not be able to meet.
Sure. So the goal is really making sure they get the help they need, and if it's not you, the only reason you'd be sharing is to get them the help they need.
Yeah, the only end like result we want is like to get the help they really need, and we have our boundaries. Like we are really here to help, but we also know like our boundaries. Like we aren't licensed psychologists yet. We want to obviously help, but there's some things that are out of our scope. So we tend to pass it, like for example, to some like professional educator, like that it's above us.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you for all you do for our students. It's incredible. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Connect with VP Hecht, your guide to all things student life at Florida State.